the synergy of healing. Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not hide yourself from your own flesh? Isaiah 58, verses 6 and 7. Isaiah addressed the words in today's Bible verse to people who were very religious and were careful to offer sacrifices and observe rituals. Yet God found their fasting vacuous. You participate in religious rituals, he told them, and yet you do nothing to assist with the suffering of your fellow man. I must confess that when I read these words, I have to plead guilty. It is so much easier, so much more convenient to pretend that we do not see the suffering of people around us, because to acknowledge it and do something about it often means compromising our own comfort and security. Short answer would be that's why we pay taxes, at least in part. That doesn't cover everything, but not long ago, while I was traveling in rural Italy, a young man approached me as I walked out of the grocery store and asked me for a bottle of water. I just purchased the water because I was going to spend the day working in the mountains and would not have access to water for about 14 hours. To yield the bottle would mean going back to the store and waiting in line to buy another one. So my first instinct was to refuse him. But as he walked away, a little voice whispered the words of Isaiah 58 into my heart. It would have been so easy to be the presence of Jesus for that young man, the voice reminded me. I repented and handed him the water, understanding that any inconvenience I might experience paled in comparison to life on the street. Although it could just be a scam. Many of us ask God to heal us of various afflictions, and rightly so. We have been invited to boldly enter his throne room and present our requests. But we should never forget that while we are proficient at asking, we have also been asked to do another part, to be the answer to someone else's prayer. It appears to be a synergistic relationship. Our willingness to be agents of healing for others brings healing to our own lives. You know, better to give than receive concept. God uses our participation in ministry to bring about changes in our lives, because when our focus is directed outward toward others, we truly get out of the way so that he can work on us. Then your light shall break forth like the morning. Isaiah 58 continues, your healing shall spring forth speedily.